for a little while. Let's chat and be you. Oh. Let me know when you're ready to go to the store, though. Alright. What's up? Hey, Mika. How you doing, girl? I'm going to give people a little time. If anybody want to come join the live. Y'all know I don't be going live, so I got to get accustomed to it. So let me start getting accustomed to it. Leave people out in my house, though, so let me put these earphones in. Y'all been kind of on me lately. What's going on, people? What we talking about tonight? What we building on? I come empty. I'm empty-minded. I don't have a topic at hand. It's just a free one. Peace, peace, peace. Okay, cool. Make sure you hit me up so we can still do that tomorrow. Let's still link for that session tomorrow. And just let me know what time work for you, and we go from there. So what's going on, good people? Anybody got some occult topics they want to talk about? Pardon me, y'all. I'm wrapping up a little bit of some work real quick. Peace, Ashe. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How about you? How you doing? Is that TT Auto Detailing? Revolutionary. Ain't no other way to be, man. Ain't no other way to be. Revolution energy. Now, when you say revolution energy, what you mean, though? You saying you want to build on that? What you mean by revolution energy? Matter of fact, anybody want to join? Anybody want to hop on that we can build? I'm really just trying to get comfortable going live, honestly, So I don't really do a lot of engaging, and I need to engage more, especially since I'm kind of putting a little more content out there. I say I've been hiding in the shadows for the past 12, 13 years. I just been doing my work and, off to the side, I ain't really been putting a whole lot out there, not in full force, but it's time. I think it's time. So that's why I'm here. Spirit told me I gotta stop playing, so I gotta stop playing. I gotta do my duty. Yep. I don't know. Y'all want to do some readings? Who want to drop their birthday? If anybody want to drop their birthday, we can start off with a reading. Who want to get a birthday? Absolutely is necessary, especially depending on your environment, because you're changing, but your environment might not be changing. So sometimes the only thing you can do is to go into solitude, just to protect your energy. Okay, Big Two Trey. What year? 5/15. What year? I need your year. Let's see. Y'all drop the year too. Drop the year in there. 93. Okay, so you 515. You ain't had a birthday that long ago. Okay. So that's 11 and 93. So that's 21 plus 9. That's 30. Oh, so you a 33-6. You got a master number, Big Two Trey. So you 33-6, man. So you all about expression, but you got a lot of sensitivities. Yeah, 6 is all about what's up? Yeah, your phone right there. I'm charged. Yeah, I'm on live. But that 6 is real nurturing. So that 6 is about responsibility. It's family. but it's also perfection. So, you know, you can be real hard on yourself, like super hard. Like you got these super high standards and you make it real hard on yourself. So you can beat yourself up a lot and you gotta stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because see, when you do that to yourself, it creates so much self-doubt and it can make it hard for you to go after things. And see, with that master number, a lot of your lessons is spiritual. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of your lessons have to do with you having to evolve your consciousness as a 33-6 because it's a master number. So, yep, life path 6. So, you know, so it can have a strong connection to the mother. Which you look at the 6, it can kind of represent like a pregnant, you can see like a pregnant belly. So you're a nurturer naturally. You can nurture people. So you can see, you got vision, you know. But depending on that individual, like you can see the potential. You'll want to help them as much as you can because you're a nurturer. But when they not doing what they supposed to do, you ready to just leave that alone. But, and you can't like be on a how I should feel or I shouldn't feel this way. You can't do that to yourself either. You got to embrace your emotions and your feelings because that's a strong part of your energy. You got to learn how to express that. So you got to find a form of expression that's suitable for you, you know, and maybe try journaling. They can help you if your energy, you know, ever get blocked. TT auto detailing 1694. So let me see. 16 is 26 plus 9 is 35. So you're 3912, man. I got the same life path energy, and it's like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart got that energy. So with a 3912, we dealing with a lot of things. It can take us a little bit of time to finally get into whatever it is that we supposed to get into because we're good at a lot of things, but we can really be the ultimate partner. You know, like, especially when it comes to, like, business, because we can do either or. We can be out in the front and lead, or we can be in the back and be a support system, because we got a 1 and a 2. But you got to remember, like, well, with a 1, you talking about confidence, and you talking about creativity. So, you're very creative, and, you know, your confidence is going to be real important, because you also innovative. You know, you also going to be first at coming to a lot of things. You're going to be ahead of the curve. So you got to be confident enough to step out there, you know what I'm saying, and do what it is that you being called to do. You know, with that 9, you know, sometimes you got to tune people out, because you can take on what they say too much and it can impact you more than it should. You know, like, sometimes you gotta really tone people out so their words don't affect you, because you can take it in real heavy. You know what I'm saying? You also got sensitivities and cooperation and balance. You got to balance. You cannot overgive. You can give too much, and that can always be an issue, because it's easy to give, but you can't overgive. You know, you got to have balance. You got to find a way to balance that out, you know. So I just want to start off real quick, do a couple of readings. But let's build on something, though. I have a journal column. Oh, that's dope. Big 2 tray. Yeah, man, that's a good way to get your ideas out and to always keep it flowing, you know. Channeling. What way you want to talk about channeling? There's so many ways. There's so many different things. Because I think a lot of people channel and they don't even know they channel. Like, it took me a while to realize that I was channeling. Because it ain't always how we perceive channeling to be. Like, we might think you actually, you know, literally coming out of who you are and stepping into, or something else stepping into. I don't really think that's the case all the time. You know, like, when you get ideas, or when things are coming to you, when some people call them downloads, I feel like that's a form of channeling too. Because you know where that information is coming from. You might be on a whole nother frequency, and you just taking in a download. But see, if that's the case, then you gotta know spiritually, like, that means that you supposed to give that channel out. You know what I'm saying? So if spirit has chosen you to deliver a message, then you gotta do your duty. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, spirit gonna take you through some shit until you're ready to do that. You know? Man in the High Castle. You know, I never watched it. I'm a big TV show, movie watcher. Like, I'm big on breaking them down, but I never watched that one. I never watched Man in the High Castle. I channel on a day-to-day basis. Absolutely. Mostly just channeling guides and ancestors. Yes, ma'am. Yep, absolutely. So you just gotta, you gotta be aware, because sometimes, like, when stuff come to you, like, take for example, when I started to wrap my hair, I don't know where that came to me from. I don't know, like, where that came to me, but it's like a strong spiritual sense in wrapping my hair, and so much to a sense where I was feeling a pull to pretty much like wrap it all up like a Muslim, but I didn't want to, for it to kind of look that way, so I just stuck with just, keeping my hair wrapped. Like, I don't know where that came from. That was just, a channel of some sort, but it was like a spiritual thing. You want to be on serpent in the grass being correct about the tree? Serpent in the grass being correct about the tree? I don't know what you mean. We talking like the tree of knowledge? We talking about the serpent? We talking about that in the Bible? What we talking about? It's probably better to have a topic. I probably should have came on here with a topic. But it's all cool. The serpent in the Bible? I mean, it depends on how you look at it. It really depends on how you look at it, man. Being correct about the tree, about eating out of the food of knowledge. You want to join? Can y'all still hear me? Somebody drop a yeah. Let me know you can still hear me. Let me know it's still going. I look like my connection missing. I can't tell. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Okay, bet. Excuse me. But I'm just kind of kicking it. I'm just kind of chilling. I don't know if y'all know, but me and my husband, we wrote a book on numerology. I don't even have a copy on me, but we wrote a book on numerology, and we wrote a book on alchemy. So this is the book on alchemy, a guide to self-mastery. Then we wrote a guide to inner peace, a book on numerology, where we basically just, kind of talk about the energy of numbers and how to take it further, how to incorporate it in your life, because it's kind of like, a spiritual language. So once you know that spiritual language, then you have a way of communicating with spirit, or being able to, understand the messages that spirit is trying to deliver to you. So it's a very, very useful tool, Peace, 444. Move, peace. How you doing? Peace, everybody. I probably should just jumped on deep dived in it, man. I've been having a lot of people DM me about the devil lately. I don't know what that is. I guess we're going to have to talk about the devil. We're going to have to talk about Satan, because, everything occult, it's a trigger word. That's why, and if I just changed my page name from the Black Occultist to Cosmic Paradox, and I was the Black Occultist for like a year and a half, 2 years. And it's just a trigger. See, the main reason why I did that is because I wanted to pierce that veil, and I felt like I wanted to just go ahead and just do it initially, because it's like, it's like the way the occult is, it's like it's the way it is for a reason. It's like a veil. So, or a veil. It's like if it scares you, it's kind of that's what it's in place for. See, I always come back to the occult and be this broad with it this way, because for me it's a gauge to really see what type of work people doing, because the occult information is uncomfortable. I don't care who you are. If you grew up in religion, It's uncomfortable if you're not seeking the truth. Like, you really have to be seeking the truth. So people can't fake their way through that. You know, we get the love and light thing. You can fake your way through that love and light. You can fake your way through manifesting and through talking. You can fake your way through that. You ain't gonna fake your way through no occult. It ain't gonna happen, yo, because you gonna be too uncomfortable. So, like, the truth gonna have to reveal itself. So that's why it's like, just give it to me straight. Don't play no games with me, because a lot of people out here do take this knowledge and they pervert it, or they just use it for material gain. And I'm not one of them individuals. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get your money. You know, we all have to survive out here. Unfortunately, this world been hijacked into capitalism. But, you know, it's so much more to this than some material. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this is about spirit, the spiritual world. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. The truth is definitely stranger than fiction. Absolutely. But yeah, that's my gauge. So, because I don't like to waste time with people, man. Because people, and I'm such a giving person. I have such a good heart, and I learn quick and fast, man. Them be the first ones that people like to take advantage of when you got a good heart, you know? And when you're really just a giving person. So that's my gauge. It's like, okay, this is what I with, and I gotta see how people react to it. And depending on how they react to it is how I'm gonna go forward with it, because I gotta protect my energy. You know what I'm saying? It's only uncomfortable if you were comfortable in religion. Absolutely, bro. I absolutely agree with you there. I absolutely agree with you there. See, I look at this like it's an adventure. Like, I be adventuring into different. I be looking at this. It be so captivating to me. Like, it's just interesting, you know. And religion didn't make enough sense. And I kept feeling like, you know, I don't know about y'all, but I grew up, you know, in the deep South. And I was born in 87, so I'm not, like, too young out here. So I'm about to be 35. So when I was coming up, you couldn't be asking all these types of questions about religion, about the church. You can't ask them questions. That's literally what they tell you. No, you can't be asking no stuff like that. You don't need to know that. Everything ain't for man to know. It's for God to know. Huh? That don't make sense to me. So as soon as I was able, and I got in an environment that was, you know, suitable for me to venture off on my path, I did. And so, you know, I mean, it can get uncomfortable. It truly can get uncomfortable. So it's all about how far you really want to go. You know, how much do you really want to know? And a lot of people don't really want to know, because this is a trend. Exactly. Janubian beaded jewels. Exactly. You don't question God. That's exactly what they tell you. And it's like, but wait a minute, this don't really, it don't matter. You don't ask them. You don't do that. Everything ain't for you to know. And so you get chastised and you get penalized and you get shunned and you get shamed for generally just wanting to know. Not realizing this is slavery that y'all really keep pushing and trying to push on us, you know. But it is what it is, you know. Some of us got to break out of these cycles, out of this generational trauma. Like, these generational curses ain't just about poverty, you know. Some of it's about abuse. You know what I'm saying? Some of it is more than just material. We can get so caught up in the material, but that's how this matrix has us, because you're supposed to be doing your work every day. You're supposed to be doing your spiritual work. Your greatest work is you, but you got to survive. So how can you do both? You know, how can you do both when they got you going to a 9 to 5? You might be from that 9 to 5, you may be gone away from your home 10, 11, 12 hours. Then you might have a family. You might got kids. You might got a significant other. You got to still distribute your time with. Where's your time for you? For your actual real spiritual work while you actually really here? There is none. And so we just keep on going with this cycle, and we substitute our true spiritual work for these material successes. You know what I'm saying? And then people wonder why they don't be being fulfilled. You know, they might be having all this stuff, but they ain't fulfilled. And then they wondering why. Because it's not going to make you happy. That's an inner job. You got to do the work in here. You feel me? It ain't just about what you're doing out there. But again, that's how they have us trapped. You know, and we don't come from families and environments and even situations that allow us to be able to venture into that. That's the hard part, you know. That's the hard part. So it's all in how you really look at it. But yeah, I mean, especially since my page been getting a lot more traction lately. I've been getting a lot more of those, you know, you gotta turn to Jesus. And, you know, it's like, man, go ahead, man. You read one book, man, go ahead. That's for you, go ahead. You know, if you scared, just go on to church. I ain't trying to convince you. And now I tell people this all the time, bro. I'm not trying to convince nobody of nothing. I just want to find my tribe so we can rock out together. Everybody else can do what they want to do. They can do whatever they want to do. It's like Bobby Hemmings say, let the dead lie with the dead. That ain't none of my business. Top 3 master teachers. Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay, so, all right, so Bobby Hemmings got to be number 1 because he was the first person I ever heard talk about some like stupid occult. Second, I got to go with Phil Valentine because it was his Matrix. His whole breakdown on his like 4-hour lecture on the Matrix that introduced me to metaphysics. That was like my early in my path. Third, third, it would either be, it's a tie between Panic and Eileen Bay. It's a tie between them two. It's a tie between them because Panic dived more into that occult. And Eileen Bay really helped me bring all of it together with the more science to help me understand metaphysically what is in Christianity. And it just helped me put it all together. And the status, everything. But I've been to all these people lectures, though. Like, I remember when Dr. Umar started lecturing, and I went to see him lecture out here in Atlanta. I done seen Brother Polite. I done seen, your red pill and blue pill. Who else, man? Taj Tariq Bay. A lot of them folks, man. You know, I actually went and Eileen Bay welcomed us to his house. So I'm gonna forever be grateful to Dr. Eileen Bay for that, you know. But yeah, we done met all these cats, man. Ali Muhammad, like we done met a lot of these people, like sat and broke bread, you know, sat and actually build with them because at this point is when we really got into it back in 2009, 2010. Like, you know, you was in it because you would travel. You would go to other cities and stuff to hear people talk. Because it wasn't like, it's such a trend now. Like, it's everywhere you look now. So that's another reason why I say that I really take my occult approach and I put it out in the forefront. Because it's trendy being spiritual. It's trendy to talk about burning sage. It's trendy to talk about chakras. It's on TV shows and stuff. So it's a part of the trend, but it's my way of weeding out who for real. I'm not here. Hold on. Let me go back. Ashe. I was thinking about doing the part 2, but I didn't know. Really honestly, it was going to depend on if I had a demand for it, you know, because it's still probably like 4 hours for that second part. So I was like, I'm going to put this first part out and let me just see, and then maybe I'll come back to this second part. So I might do it. I have everything for that part too, you know, and since you asked me about it, I'm gonna highly consider that. One of my favorite clean quotes, I'm not here to convert atheists into believers. Exactly. I ain't trying to convert nobody. I'm not trying to convert you into nothing. I'm not trying to convince you to have faith in nothing because I realize that's yet another distraction from my own work. I should be working on me, but instead, I'm trying to convince you, man. You know, maybe I'm trying to convince. For a while, I felt like that. For a while, I felt like I didn't want to be talking about it to convince myself. I want to live it. So that's why I didn't want to jump right out there and really like teach or, you know, whatever the case may be. I wanted to really do my work, you know. Peace, smoking Ace. What's up, Ace? What's up? You know, we are definitely alike. There's some of my all-time favorites. Yep, Dr. Delbert Blair. Wayne Chandler book, Ancient Future, changed my life. Like, I appreciate the hell out of that book when I came across that book at that particular point in time. But, I mean, I'm a student of a lot of people, a lot of things, you know. I look into a lot of schools of thought. You know, I consider myself like a chaote, like into chaos. Because it's too many pieces in different different places. And I don't think that's a coincidence. I think, they split it all up and broke it all up into pieces and divided us and made us divisive based off of religions and geography for that reason, so we wouldn't put it all back together. That's just my opinion, though. You was just about, you talking about Aline Bay for his Qigong class? Is it Aline Bay that you're referring to? Because I know he does Qigong classes. Man, it's definitely a great of our time. Yep. But at the end of the day, anybody that says anything that speaks from within themselves to speak their truth, I learn from. Like, even if I don't fully agree with them, even if they talking about something that might not really be in alignment with what I'm talking about, because you can learn different things from different people. You know what I'm saying? Like Dr. York, one thing Dr. York said that I picked up on, that I took in, was he said he studied Eddie Murphy, because he said Eddie Murphy was his favorite performer. So, because you got to think about, when you a speaker, you're still in front of people. You're still commanding a crowd. You're still commanding a room. You're still working a room. So how you move that energy in that room, a comedian is a master at you know what I'm saying, and doing that in a room. And not just comedians, it could be all different types of performers. Even some people like a T.D. Jakes. Like, I look at T.D. Jakes to see how he speaks from what he speaks from, how he commands his audience. So it's always something you can learn. It's always something you can learn from people. Wayne Chandler. I didn't know Wayne Chandler did Qigong classes. I did not know that. That's new information to me. Okay, I didn't know that. That's what's up. So yeah, I'm a student, because I look at it like it's all energy at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because people can say, they might be like, oh, the occult into this or whatever. It's like, but nigga, don't you know people in the church that do bad shit? Come on, like, you know people that do bad stuff regardless of what they supposed to be into. It ain't no moral, it don't make you morally superior in no way, shape, or form. Like, but we know that's the programming, the preconceived notion that people are under. Automatically, when you see a preacher, you're supposed to trust them. But should you? I mean, really? So, it's all in how you look at it. So that's my thing, is to perform global alchemy. So if I'm an occultist and I identify as an occultist, right? And I've done so much good work, helped heal a lot of people, doing a lot of good things, I can transform what your perception of an occultist is. Not to say that that's the reason that I do what I do, because I do what I do for me, but, that's a strong part of something I feel called to do, is to get rid of them taboos, because they are holding us back. So as long as we keep focused on this program we've been given, because they don't want us empowered, because all this information just carries empowerment and ways for you to empower yourself outside of this system. Of course they don't want us to know that. You know what I'm saying? Of course not. I think it can go both ways, good and bad, choice yours. Absolutely. It doesn't really matter. Like, it really boils down to that individual. It's all about the choices. It's all about what they choosing to do. So that's why I say, man, it go back to intentions. I tell people that all the time. When they be like, man, some occultists are into some real crazy stuff. Some people are into crazy stuff, man. Like, period. It just is what it is. It's all about intention. Some people, like I say, really want more material. Even when it comes to when you're talking about justice or injustices, man, some of these people don't want fairness. Some of these people don't want it to be equal. Some of these people just don't want to be on the side that's getting oppressed, and they don't care if they are doing the oppressing. You see? So it's a difference. You got to be able to discern the difference between who you're dealing with. Because people got different intentions out here. Yep, no more just cause and effect. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's cause and effect. You make a decision. You take a course of action. There's going to be something that happens in response to that, whether it be good or bad. And like when we talk about karma, I think I said it's the last time. A lot of people feel like they're quick to say something is karma when they are aware of somebody that do something bad and something bad happens to them, but we don't realize the karma we get in doing too much good. Like, doing too much good can be your downfall. You know, you can be too much of something that's considered a good quality, and in that situation, you could be taken advantage of, you know, because the universe still got to teach you, because it's about balance. You feel me? So if you're over giving, it's a good thing to be a giver, right? Because that's what they teach us, right? Because they really do this to us so that they really just want to manipulate our minds anyway. But if you're over giving, yo, that's gonna come back on you. You feel me? You're going to deplete your own energy, and you're going to deal with somebody who's going to take way more than they giving, because you're over giving. They have no choice but to take it. So naturally, that person is going to take what you give, and they can only give what's left to give. You feel me? They can't give any more than what is there. We have to understand how energy works. That's just energy. So whether it's too much good, you can't do too much of nothing. No, they say too much of anything will kill you. Even if it is good, that's karma, yo. It's about balance. You have to balance, man, at the end of the day. So don't let people guilt you into doing something. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's manipulation. That's what I'm saying. That's why they did this to us with this religion and everything. It's about mindset. It's about making us more susceptible to being used and manipulated. They told us on the Matrix, the latest Matrix, they told us, he literally said, the worse we treat you, the greater the output. He said, man, I've been setting record numbers for my Matrix. That's what they doing to us now. Why? Because most people are run by their feelings. That's why it's so easy for misinformation, because they want to feel good. You understand? And this knowledge, once you get into it, it's not going to make you feel good. In some ways it is. But when you realize you've been lied to, when you see the lies and you see how deep it is, it's different. You know, it's different. Yep, we came here to learn how to manipulate energy. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I totally agree. So, you know, it's just all an energy thing, you know, because what I realize, anything that empowers you, that teaches you, that tells your mind to rebel is satanic. Anything that tells you to rebel. So think about it. If you are the system and something is making people rebel against the system, to the system, that thing is bad. It's bad. But is it bad to the people? Because it might not be bad to the people. It's just bad to the system, because you'll no longer need that system. So therefore, I have to program you to not want this. I have to program you to get away from this. So when they tell you, or when they trying really, really hard to keep you away from something, man, you better go hard to it, because it's a reason they don't want you to see it. It's a reason they don't want you near it. And I refuse to in any way, shape, or form, think that it's because they care. They don't care, you know? And that's why I always come down to people like, you think the government really care about us? Do you really think they care? Like, think about it. So when people get on this wave, when everybody starts saying the same thing, I immediately start looking the opposite direction. Immediately I start looking the opposite direction. Immediately, because something's wrong with it. Because they not going to feed you something that's going to tear the system down, yo. I'm telling you. Or either it's that, or they get those infiltrators to come into a movement to cause all types of division and everything. I know y'all see the diaspora wars that's going on now between melanated people, which don't make zero sense. But it's heavy and it's hectic, and it's a lot of people that's throwing fuel to the fire. So I stay out of all those senses debates. I do, because they're pointless. They're pointless anyway, especially when you know you global. See, it's about transcending. See, I be on a soul level, man. Like, it's a lot of things I don't even want to talk about. Because, see, I took the time, and I traced a lot of my genealogy. I ain't going to say all of it, because it's hard to trace everything. But I found a couple lines that I could really trace it. I mean, I seen what's in my bloodline. So, you know, nobody's 100% nothing. Nobody. Like, you not 100% American Indian. Like, you not, like, nobody's 100% nothing. You know, so I think it's kind of a pointless debate to keep people going, but that's ego. They go back to intention. What people here for? Yo, what are you here for? Are you here to heal? Do you want to feel better about yourself? You know what I'm saying? Do you just need to feed your ego and be smarter than other people? Tell it about how you did it. I started looking into the records. Like, I started actually searching records, like, because they have all the records. They haven't changed none of these records. That's birth records, marriage records, old census. I took it back as far as I could. And one of my lines, somebody did the work already and did a lot. I mean, they did it a lot of work. And just looking at that one line, looking at that one line, you know, I already know what it is. But I would say it's a lot of all these, even the ancestry, even if you don't do the DNA, right? They have those databases, and you can search and you can find. All you need is a name. If you have a year, it helps. If you have a location, like, you can search by the county. I found some family secrets. I found all type of stuff, man. And I found patterns. Let me tell you, what your genealogy is also going to do is it's going to show you patterns in your family, yo. And that's something that can show you literally where your family may need to heal, where your whole lineage may need to heal. You may see where, dang, like my grandmother, her mother, her mother before her, you know, they all had issues when it came to their marriage or, you know, their father or something like that. And when that happens, it tells you a story. And I felt more connected to my family than I ever felt, you know, because over recent years, I felt really disconnected from my family because of religion, because, you know, my family is heavy Christian. They don't really play by that. They Christian. You know, my grandmother is a minister, and they love me. Don't get it twisted. No, I can, you know, they love me. I can go home and everything, but it's a disconnect. It's not the same, you know, so it doesn't feel the same. It's not the same type of connection. But all those people before me, all those ancestors before me, like, I felt something. Like, I read up on my great great grandmother. They worked super hard, and they bought 40 acres of land, and they owned everything. Like, they had chickens, you know, hogs. They was growing stuff. They was selling molasses. They was doing a lot. They worked hard to get their land. And 2 generations later, it was sold and gone. Like, me, I never seen it. I never knew we had it. And I'm at a place in my life right now where I'm like, damn, I would love to have me some land and just go farm and everything. See, I'm circling back to what we were. But at that time, the family that sold it off, they wanted to go on and do something different. So they severed, because if your family been farmers for generations, right, and you severed it, what do you do? What do you go and do now? So that they ended up doing what? Doing labor jobs, regular labor jobs. And it's been that way consistently for the past 3 generations until my generation. You know, we went to college. Me, my cousins, we went to college. So we went to college, but we went to college and only to have to go off and work for somebody else. You feel me? Like, we didn't go to college and it was something that we brought back to our family unit. You feel me? And I think that's what go on with a lot of us. Our families got that poverty pattern going on now because we done abandoned our own legacies. We done abandoned our ways. So if for generations we've been farmers, and now all of a sudden we got to start over, where are we starting from? And I don't think we realize how important legacy is. You know, like, that's just making a path for those to walk behind you. If I don't do nothing else in this world, I just want to pave a way for my kids. If I don't do nothing else, so that way that they can truly, like, live out their passions, you know, whatever the case that may be, because we don't know how to do that. You know, coming from my family, we don't know. All we was told was go to school, get good grades, go to college, get you a good job. But by the time we did that, that wasn't the way to get ahead. Now everybody was doing that. Now we just like everybody else. Now we pretty much got the same amount of debt and all of that. So it's like, it's all in how you really want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? But I think legacy is important. I don't think people understand it. That's like the Currys, right? Look at Steph and Seth and his, right? He followed his dad. His dad paved the way for him already. So literally Steph and Seth been in the league, honestly, for like 20 years. Why? Because they came up in it. So they already met all the people they need to meet. The path was already made for them. All they had to do was walk the path. So I think that's the importance in legacy. And I don't think we really understand it. How far did I go back? For One of My Bloodlines, it went all the way back to like over there in Europe, like 800. Like it went back way. I ain't never seen that and go back that far before. And it's like, I would have to do a lot of work to follow up on that. But once I got to my grandmother or my father, all I had to do was look into my father's father and mother. And his mother, her family, it's like, you know, it was like, so I don't know. And I've never met her before. I never got to meet her. So my dad is like, it's a lot of them, but he's like he's younger, but he's still, you know, my daddy's still like 60 or he close to 60, but he was the baby. So a lot of things he didn't even know. I still need to sit down and talk with some of my aunts and uncles about how it really was for them growing up, because I know nothing about their family. And I'm looking at, I'm like, damn, like, you know, all this is in your family. And he had no idea. You know, it was no way of knowing. And see, that's just like my uncle. He breeds horses and dogs. And so I was looking at looking at the family tree, looking at where we come from, and it literally shows like, so it was a lot of free black peoples that's in that lineage. You know what I'm saying? They was listed as mulatto. You gotta do the work, yo, because it's a point in history where they made the switch and they start to reclassify us a different type of way. But you just gotta do the work. But when you start to look for yourself, you'll see it. Yep, same for Clarke. Yeah, that's how it's a lot of these kids is like that in the NBA or in these leagues now. They legacy kids. You know, it's just like when you go to college, just like if somebody already went through being in a sorority or a frat, you legacy. It's pretty much like, well, you in here already because somebody did that work before you. That shit is important, yo. That shit is very, very important. So I want to go back to the land, you know, and I figure that's probably why, because it's in my bloodline to want to go back to the land, because that's what my family was into. And like I was saying with my dad and them, with my uncle, so with them, with him breeding horses, it's something that was handed down to him. So his father did that, and his father's father did that. And I found an actual slave story from one of my ancestors, and he was a horse, what you call it? Not a horse jockey though. They was horse breeders, horse and dog breeders. Yo, my uncle still do this to this day. So it's not a coincidence, yo. We do us in our blood. We truly do us in our blood. I even think down to some of these young kids out here, the way they go to war with each other, they probably some little warrior spirits, you know. Like, I think it's all of it. What books would I recommend? On which topic? What topic you want book recommendations for? Yep. So I would say go back as far as you can. Some of it you're gonna have to do some work because, like I said, some of my bloodlines I can't find anything past 3 generations. And I think in those cases, some severe trauma probably happened. So that's probably why we don't know. Because see, my great grandmother, yo, she would never talk about her father. And when I looked up her record, see, she's not here with us no more. She died in 2007, 2008 maybe. And when I looked up her record, I can't find any information about her father. And so we had to find some family members from where she actually, you know, kind of grew up. And I have to get back to North Carolina so I can get and sit down with these family members, you know, before they pass. But, you know, there was kind of that knows about you know, how she was and the way she was brought up, and why she was brought up the way she was brought up. You know, what happened with her father? Because I think her birth mother died giving birth. And I think she was raised by like a family member. So I don't know if her dad just, you know, handed her off to some family to raise. But, you know, so you see the trauma and you see where the healing needs to occur. So that's why I say do that genealogy. Do that genealogy. Do it. I say do it. I'm not saying do that DNA because they've already told us that they're just selling our DNA, that they're just selling this data. So I'm not saying to do that, but take the due diligence and look through records, because you don't know what you might find. I had no idea I would find what I found. You know, I had no idea, but it gave me a sense of peace because I was asking a lot of these questions, and it was like Spirit brought me the answers. Rock Hill, North Carolina. Oh, you from Rock Hill? Okay, all right. I'm from Tarboro, man. From Tarboro, Rocky Mount. I'm from that area. We can find past 3 generations back on our dad's side, and it traced to Brazil. Oh, wow. Okay. So Brazil. So, you know, you probably got a lot of native ancestry. You might got some Spanish in there. So you might got some Moorish history. So I seen Moorish history in my bloodline. So I know I got some more ancestors out there. I already know that. You know, so for me to find it out like 10 years later, to literally see it and to see that in my actual bloodline was mind blowing. Like it just felt like it brought it all full circle. You know, oh, you can't find, it's hard, ain't it? For a lot of, that's why I know like that one, I don't know, like I said, I don't know who did it, but somebody somewhere that's a descendant somewhere in my family had already put a lot of those lines together. That's the only reason why I was able to come across it that way. But prior to that, all my other lineages, I can't find too far back, you know? So I think then we got to go to, we got to check the slave, you know, we got to check those records too. Now that's the only thing that I haven't gotten into yet. So we do got to check that too, you know? Yeah. It'd be cool to find, it does. And some of the people that I'm related to, I won't really feeling it though. You know, like historically. Like, I won't feeling it at all. Like, I ain't even finna talk about it. Cause I was like, because it's so mind blowing. Like when I found it and looked it up, when I was like really able to look it all the way back. So, you know, for me to be beefing with Christianity the way I be beefing with Christianity, it's really kind of wild, because it's just wild. It's just wild. We all stood up to my ancestors, took the deal and cursed us. Yep. That's what happened. That's what happened, man, the survival. But, you know, it was prophesied that it was going to happen, though. So deep down somewhere, we always knew that was going to be what was going to happen. At least that's how I see it. I think we always knew. I think that's why we taught. I think that's why we came up with the freemasonry, man. I think that's why we started what we started. Even if it's perverse today, we started that. You know what I'm saying? We started that because we had to move through the church. Because you got to understand the church. Yo, I taught all about this. I did a breakdown on, I did a whole breakdown like on the occult. And the whole reason all these secret societies started is because they had to move in silence. They had to move separate from the church. They couldn't do this shit outright because the church was running everything. Y'all got to think about it. Like historically, the Pope was signing what they call the papal bulls, or however you pronounce it. So it was saying, you go get in it, everybody that ain't no Christian, we destroying them. We taking them, whether they Muslim, it does not matter. All of that, they had to be gone. So our people scattered. Some of them took deals, some of them didn't. You know, and then when you talk about the natives, they really did us in, yo. The indigenous peoples of America, they really did us in here. They super did us in. They took it and they just flipped everything. And now we don't even know. We have no idea of what this is. Like, yeah, this Turtle Island. Like, this really is it, you know. But they just don't want us to know. That's why you got to be diligent and just do your work. Yep, Trail of Tears, a.k.a. sacrifice, so we can be here. Yep. So at the end of the day, even the ones who you know, might have sold us out or might have did what they did, maybe they ain't had no choice. You feel me, mate? They had to do what they had to do. But I just feel like from everything I've looked at prophecy-wise, and when you look at the old ancient texts, it just seemed like this was always destiny, man. It just seemed like this was always what it was going to be, because we knew we was going to fall even further asleep. And I think that's how we kept the knowledge alive. We had to give it to them so that shit could survive. Because imagine if we didn't give them none of that. Imagine if they didn't get none of that. We had to give it to them so it could survive and still be here today. Like, that's some for real shit. It's in that book, People of the Secret, by Ernest Scott. Somebody stole my book too, but you could find a PDF somewhere out there. But like, if you actually buying the book, it's out of print. It's probably like $700 the last time I looked it up. That's why the sacrifice was so harsh on us. Clues out in our DNA. But see, that's why I'm always skeptical about them people getting our DNA. I'm always skeptical about it, because I know that's what they doing. And then, people will be like, how can you not trust the DNA? And it's like, how do we just turn? I just don't give them the authority that everybody else. I don't see them as no authority. I don't see what they saying to be the end all be all. I just question all that shit. I just question all the authority. And it just make a lot of people uncomfortable when you question authority. It bring them Agent Smiths out. It bring the slave catchers out. They got to bring you back to the plantation when you get to talking like that. So it is what it is. Yep. But it's you can't really stop the shift, man. You can try and delay it, but it's inevitable. It's like Thanos. It's inevitable. The end is inevitable. It's coming. Took our reasonable mind, but we getting back to love. Yep. And so that's why I tell people, I be like, you got to be careful. You can't just group everything and be like, oh, we're the Freemasons, the Occultists. You can't say that, because you falling for the trap, You falling for the same trap. Because you speaking from the church point of view. You carrying the church mind when you do that. Because the church taught you to speak against the occult. You got to remember that. So, and it's, like I said, man, people... It's all about intentions, because occult knowledge is powerful if one knows how to apply it. So some people have selfish intentions. Absolutely. Practice discernment so that you know what's up. I think most people in a position of power are that way, Information just used as a reference point. The truth is not subject to change. Yeah, I feel that. That's true. See, that goes back to that discomfort. It goes back to the feelings. It goes back to, that's why it's so easy for people to accept misinformation, because it's about how it make them feel, man. And when you function like that, it just make you food. You just food. I'm telling you, just food for the powers that be. For those that know how to utilize that energy, that's all it's gonna be. That's all you're gonna be. So you gotta, I don't know. I don't know. Anybody watching the game? Y'all watching the game? Golden State finna go win tonight. I love hoops though. I ain't gonna lie about that. That's how I know my American roots is so deep. You ready to smoke? That's what I say. You ready to smoke? I appreciate that. Yep. But y'all know how we go out here, I appreciate all y'all in the comments, y'all got some sound minds out there. Some sound minds. I appreciate it. But yeah, whenever you speaking the truth, be prepared for them Agent Smiths. Be prepared for them slave catchers. They coming to try and take your mind back, because you're not supposed to have your mind. You're not supposed to have control of your mind. You're supposed to go with the flow. You're supposed to get with the program. That's why you got your TV program and your radio program, because you got to get with the program. The minute you step outside of it, it's like on Percy Jackson. on the first Percy Jackson when they were in the when they ate the lotus.
It was in the casino.
Yeah, in the casino, and they ate the lotus, and they just got stuck there. They just forgot. It was people that was there for decades, just forgot what they was there for. And then it was like once Percy realized what was up, and he stopped. And what did they say? They was like, he's awake, he's awake, he's awake. Get him, he's awake. Why? Because he realized what was going on. He was like, yo, stop eating it. Don't eat that. Like, pay attention. So that's what's going on. It's the same thing. Like, as soon as they know you awake, it's a wrap. Like, they gonna be on you from that point in time. And they go out, and I feel like the main way they go after people is money. That's the main way they get the people, man. They get them through the money because, and I know because, for one, when you're making a living off of this, see, I've always been an entrepreneur, able to do my own thing. But here more lately, I'm more so, trying to focus on the knowledge, really trying to focus on the knowledge. And so when you're really trying to focus on the knowledge, it got to become your way of life. So it also means it become the way people make their money. So that's how they get their way into the people, because you start to make more money, the information or the crowd, the money pushes you away or to a certain direction, and people just continue to go in the direction that the money is going. So they just going to go with the flow of it because the flow of the money, I tell them to read because you can only be what you know and not what you are told. Oh, I feel that. I feel that. But see, that's why my favorite teachers are always the ones who tell you to go research. Like, go read this for yourself. Go look this up for yourself. Like, you can go look in books about this and go look in books about that. Because your brain got to make the connections itself. I could tell you all day until I'm blue in the face. But it's not going to matter until your brain make that synapse connection itself. It's like an aha moment. It has to happen for you yourself. You cannot change a person's perception for them. You can't change their mind for them. They can only do it themselves. All you can do is plant a seed and just hope that seed grow. But the thing is, it might not grow this lifetime. They might not supposed to be awakened in this lifetime, And some of us came here just to sprinkle seeds. Some of us came here just to leave little things, leave clues behind for those people who are waking up. You know what I'm saying? Some of us got very old souls and we just helping out. So it's all about your purpose. Dr. Delbert Blair. Yeah, Dr. Delbert Blair. Yeah. I rock with Dr. Delbert Blair also. Yep, but all the old teachers, man, see, back when I first started, it was your John Henry Clarke, Dr. Ben. I had to learn I learned the history first. Well, no, I take that back. I probably dived deep into the history first, but my question was always about religion initially because that's just what I always grew up curious about. And it took me into the history. So I went into the history because what the Pan-africanism and what the African spirituality and all that do, it give you some power. It give you your power back. Because then you don't have to just see yourself as a slave or as a descendant of a slave. Then you getting a different story told to you. And I'm going to tell y'all, see, the reason why we think like that, and I don't know how people going to feel about this, but see, in recent years, I don't consider myself to really rock with Pan-Africanism like that no more. Because I feel like it's infiltrated. The reason why I say that is because I feel like it's still a trap almost. Like, depending on how far it really depends on how far you trying to go, man. See, me, I'm just trying to know. I'm just trying to know. And I don't think everybody is really on that type of time. I don't think everybody is really trying to just know. I think people are trying to, I don't know what everybody's looking for. What drives me to seek truth? It separates us from the land mentally. What drives me to seek truth? I don't know, bro. I've been like this as a little kid. When I was 10 years old, like I was in the church when I was 10 years old. Like, I went myself. Like, ain't nobody make me, force me to join or nothing like that, because I was a sad child, if that makes any sense. Like, I was a very curious child at a very young age. So I went to church. And I was actually trying to learn in church, right? So at this age, I used to write notes down from the preacher and everything. Like, for real, I really used to do this because I wanted to be happy. I wanted to, like, I got tired of feeling like I wasn't happy. If that makes any sense. Like, it just felt weird. And at that particular point in my life, at that particular time, me growing up, I was growing up in a rural area and everything. It was just, church was all there was. So that was all that people had, So that's like therapy. It's like counseling. And as I got older, I'm 14, 15, going to Bible study, going to Sunday school. I'm reading the Bible and I'm asking questions. And it's like, so Jonah was really in a well for 3 days? I was asking these questions and I just was not satisfied with the answers. I wasn't satisfied with the answers, right? And I remember I used to love Michael Jackson. He came out with Remember the Time, right? I was so fascinated with that video. No idea why. I didn't know nothing about no ancient Egypt. I didn't know nothing. So when I seen that video, and he had all them black people in that video, right? Something clicked in my head, and I was like, why in the Bible, right? If it say the Jewish people, and then you got the ancient Egyptians, they was black people, right? This was just me as a little kid. And I used to feel like, well, why is it everything that we come from, why is it bad? And from that moment, I rebelled from that moment. Because I didn't understand. And so, and then the logic started to pile on. You know what I'm saying? I started to analyze more, and it was like, so we only Christians anyway because we were slaves. So if we wasn't slaves, we wouldn't even be Christians. And once I started to talk like that, it was like, yo, you can't say stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you can't say stuff like that. So I stopped. I ain't speak out on that no more. But once I got of age, I went to college. I remember my cousin taking me back to school one time. He was the one cousin too that was like, he was like the heathen. I love you, cuz. But he was like the heathen. Cuz didn't go to church or nothing. He could do what he wanted to do. He was cool. I mean, he was, I just looked up to cuz. And he took me back to school one day. He drove me to Elizabeth City. This was when matter of fact, I was a freshman in college. He drove me up there. And he had a long talk with me about conspiracy stuff, like Illuminati stuff, symbolism. Because of that, I didn't get in no sorority. Because of that one conversation. It made me second guess getting in a sorority, and I ain't getting in a sorority. And so, but I was still close to home. So I graduated college 2009, that summer. I graduated May, June, the end of June, I moved to Atlanta. I got accepted in the chiropractic school, moved to Atlanta. And when we moved, it was something about moving here. I started to explore. I bought books. I don't know exactly how I got on it, but I bought conspiracy books. I bought your Behold the Pale White Horse. I bought, Secret Teachers of All Ages. I still got that book, man. It's raggedy to this day. Like, I've been through that book so many times. And I started to really get into the conspiracy, and I started to get into the government stuff and then the religion. And I remember I sat my husband down. We weren't married then, but I sat him down and I said, I gotta tell you something. And he said, what? I said, I don't know how you gonna take this. He was like, what? Hold on, y'all. I want my phone to die. Your phone charging? Nah, it's about to. My battery low. I'm getting into it right now though. Alright, so I was like, I don't know how you gonna take this. He was like, what? I was like, man, I ain't rocking with Jesus no more. He was like, huh? What? I was like, I ain't rocking with Jesus no more. He's like, why you say that? I was like, because it's all lies. And he was like, tell me what you mean. And I talked to him about it. And I showed him everything I was looking at. And he was like, I feel you. I feel the same way now. My bad, y'all. And I feel like that moment defined us. I feel like that moment defined us because, yo, you can't go to most people with that. It changes things. It changes things, you know what I'm saying? But he heard me out and he looked into everything and he was like, man, I always felt like it was something about church. I knew that's why I never really felt right about going to church. And boom, that's how, you know, and we just started studying from there, yo. We just started studying from there, like since 2009. So we went to the lecture. I remember the first time we went to a Dr. Umar lecture. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. The energy in that building, man, I felt like, I'm not gonna lie, it felt like being a part of something really, really special. Like, if I would have been alive when Malcolm X was alive, I would have been in there and seen Malcolm X speak. Like, that's how that felt when you was going to them lectures, especially somebody like me. I ain't never seen that. Let me tell you something. Where I come from, everybody's the same, man. You hear me? Everybody believe the same. Everybody do the same. You go by the same standards. Everything is the same. So when I got here, and there was so much diversity, man, it changed my life. Man, it changed my life because it was what I needed. It was the exact stimulation that I needed, and it forever changed me. Because it was like, I had never seen nothing like that before. Anyway, seeing all these black people proud to be black like this, like, oh my God, I ain't never seen this before. I ain't never felt like this before. These people this proud, and you got all these vendors, and they selling their product, and this, you know what I'm saying? You go to Malcolm X Day, and it's all these, you know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen nothing like it. I was just taken. You know, I was taken by it. I'm not even gonna lie. Changed me forever. Now, I never got to hear Bobby Hemmett speak. But a lot of other people, yeah. A lot of other people, yeah. So that's how I ended up here, though. You know, that's how I ended up here. So I guess, you know, I don't know, man. Just something deep within me, just always yearn. And looking into astrology. Like, I don't know if y'all into astrology. See, I tried to cover all my bases because I was going through a lot. I was going through stuff physically, you know, in my body. So I was studying the energy body, the foods. I was studying everything in connection to it. It brought me the chakras. I was studying everything because just so much was wrong. I wasn't healthy. My body wasn't right. I just was miserable. Like, it was just so much. I just wanted to change it. I just knew I wanted to change it. I just knew I wanted to change it. And that's just what got me here. Like, that's how I ended in here. Solar flash. What you mean by solar flash? What you mean by solar flash? I don't know if I'm familiar with that term. But I might know what you're talking about in reference to something. Oh, no, baby. It went out. Hold on right quick. I ain't. No. I mean, I did, but, you know. But yeah, so, you know, that's how I ended up here, man. You know, I got obsessed with books. I bought a ton of books on activating DNA and stuff. Yeah, I do believe in it. I do, absolutely, because it's nothing but light. You know, like, it's nothing but light transformation. So I think a lot of times, like, even when the sun is in different places, like, I think sometimes, though, I also believe in, like, the black sun. I also look at the black sun. I think that we get a lot of activation from the black sun because, you know, I think that because, I don't know, well, I know speaking from personal experience a lot of times, like spiritually, when I'm going through something really, really spiritual, I'm getting like downloads, and it can happen a lot at night, like late at night, and that's like when the sun is gone. So I think a lot of it is like the black sun. I think from Sirius. I think maybe some of us, maybe not everybody, because maybe not everybody's not the same from the same. You know, I don't think we're all the same, but I do think that, because I think it can happen in the sun also as well. So I think there's different levels to it. I think the what's, you know, that C word virus, you know, that virus, I think that's I think what that does on a spiritual level, because it has to do with the crown, I think it does attack our ability to download from the sun. I do think that. I do, you know. So I think that's something that spiritually is being affected by people when it comes to from catching it. And I'm trying to be careful with my words, because I don't want my shit to get censored just from us saying that about that. But that's what I feel like, you know what I'm saying, because there are certain energies that is in opposition of the shift that is occurring. They're trying to delay it for however long or however possible that they can, even though it is inevitable. You know, like it has to happen. But yeah, I do think that our DNA gets activated from different things. I think they're exploring a multitude of ways to activate our DNA in different ways. Like, for instance, getting, you know, dead, or from some of the foods that we're eating, from the earphones we're putting in our ears, you know, the Bluetooth, all the everything that's being given off from holding cell phones to our ears. I think all that shit is, I think we're constantly under attack. Constantly. I think constantly, yo, is to, you know what I'm saying, to keep us so distracted and caught up in this matrix. Because if we can just be still, and just go in, you know, like, that's how the shift happens. And a lot of us have done that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us have done that. Yep, sounds, frequencies. I mean, because everything is frequency. So depending on what that's why I say sometimes, that's why some people won't be affected by certain things, because it depends on your frequency. You know what I'm saying? Because if everything vibrates, so therefore everything is transmitting, you got to think about the fact, your heart, right? So your heart is your EMF center. So it generates your EMF field. So if it's picking up things, your heart pick it up first. Your heart pick it up first, and it communicates to your mind, to your brain. And so when all these depending on your frequency, I feel like if you can be elevated, and supersede, you know what I'm saying, a lot of these things from affecting you anyway. But it's all about spiritual work. You know, it's all about doing the spiritual work. What was one of my biggest questions about religion from childhood? I think in a way, though, religion did traumatize me, because, and I think that's why I fought so hard to find truth, because I remember being like super little, like probably like 5 or something like that. And I remember one of my cousins one time kept messing with me, saying something about like that the devil was gonna get me or something. And it probably was like maybe like my first time really hearing somebody saying it, you know, like to me. And it really affected me and made me think about it from there. And I think that fear from it was always what I wanted to get away from. I think that's what it was. I think that's what drove me too. When you asked me, Musa, I think that drove me too, because deep down, I mean, I said I wanted to be happy, but I think too, I didn't want to feel fear no more. I think I could just feel fear all the time. And the people around me was, old fashioned. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what I wanted to get away from, It was the fear. So like to this day, when I feel that, even when I feel it coming off somebody, I don't want to be around them. Like I don't want to be around them. Yeah, I don't know what that. It's like, it's something about that, Music and dance can activate the world. Yep. Yeah, because it's the rhythm. It's the rhythm, the law of rhythm. And then you look at music. Music is connected to the number 7, right? So that's why so many things are structured on the number 7, especially spiritually. So if you got 7 in your life path, sometimes, a lot of times, those people can find outages through music. And it's funny because they tie music. It's funny what they do, because they'll tie music to Lucifer, and they'll want to connect it to evil. See, we gotta peep the games they be trying to play on us. Because honestly, most of the time, a lot of people are communicating from spirit through the music. It's through the music. That's why it take over the whole world like that. That's why music is the culture, That's why everything we do sets the trend. Everything we do sets the trend, because it's soul. And soul has to do with the original. It has to do with, what originally makes up the universe. So if the whole universe is everything is structured around rhythm, right? And if that's why music translates. Music translates all cultures. You can hear something not understand, then the people saying you be in a whole nother language, and you just vibe to it, and it can connect with you on a different level. Hell, it can possess you and make you move. Man, I'm gonna tell you, ever heard some damn reggae dance hall? I'm telling you, some reggae dance hall music come over, a switch gonna flip in my body and gonna automatically move my hips, man. I don't know what that is, but as soon as it come on, bro, it's gonna flip a switch in my body, man, and it's gonna make me move. But I got a lot of 7s around. I'm connected to a lot of 7s, so maybe that's why. Cause I could take music and let music just change my whole mood. If I know it's hard for me to move, I could just put on music and it'll just help me move. It just give me the motivation to push through. Yep, music affects your cells. Yep, ties to the limbic system. Yep, these plants. Okay, these plants animals will start to dance if you play the right stuff. Well, and they say that too. It's different things around when you're looking at plants. Certain plants growing and playing certain music. Like, all this stuff is researched and studied. But common people are trying to play us like we crazy or something. But it's like, they done scientific studies on this, right? Like literal scientific studies, right? So everything that we say that you think is supernatural, you know what I'm saying, or you think it's occult, science just hasn't caught up to it yet. That's all it is. Science just hasn't, what they call today's version of science hasn't caught up. But I do think that they already have advanced technology. I absolutely think they already got advanced technology. I just think that they wait for the appropriate time to roll it out. Because ain't no way in the world. They definitely had it. I definitely think that. So the music was our language at one point. I feel that. I can feel that. I definitely can agree with you with that. I definitely can agree with you with that. Yeah, I definitely see that. Because music speaks for itself. And it's so, it's just authentic. It just translates. It's like a soul language. It's a language for it's a soul language. Yep. But yeah, I think these musicians are connected. I think they do. I think they are connected, yo. I think that's why like because I listen with a different ear. You know what I'm saying? I listen with a different ear, and I don't even feel, I'm not even to say that it's all credited to the musician to speak to like a level of talent. I think it speaks to a level of connection that they are having in that moment with the source. That's what I feel like that is. You know what I'm saying? Because like when JayZ rapping and it's coming from out of his head, if he hearing a beat and it's coming out of it's coming from here, that spirit, that spirit, you know, like that spirit. But that's just me though. That's just me. But like I said, I listen with a different ear. Cause JayZ say a lot of stuff that's real occulted to me. Like he be talking in like a code, and it's like I be like he be talking about some. He be talking. He not just rapping. He not just like JayZ moved past. That's why I feel like if he moved past being like a braggadocious rapper, even though he do it a lot. Don't get me wrong. He do it a lot. He got a lot of balance. I'm gonna say that he got a lot of balance. He do it a lot, but JayZ is definitely, that brother is tapped in. Like he said, boy, when you look at Faded Black, he said you crack the door, let God in. JayZ be talking. He be talking that talk. He be talking that talk. He be channeling. Bro be channeling. He be channeling some shit. He be channeling, yo. He do. And I be using JayZ as a gauge. JayZ be one of my favorite gauges sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because it just tell me what people caught up in. It's like, well, it'd be like, oh, that Illuminati, superficial, man. He ain't do it deep enough. Beyonce too, yo, she into it too. She definitely into it too. Yo, they be talking some talk, man. It be some real occult gems in there. It be the one. Rick Ross do it too. Big Sean do it too. Kanye do it, but Kanye more direct. But I think it's too because Kanye be having so many different people that be on his raps too. So, who else be doing? Yeah, Beyonce do it. Nicki Minaj be doing it sometimes too. Who else be doing it? I'm saying the people that ain't obvious. You know what I'm saying? We know a lot of people that do it. Your Kendricks. We know the people that wear it. But the people that don't wear it, that's more balanced with it, I think that's a real gift. Kevin Gates do it. What's up, man? Hey, Sire. You was sleeping. Uh-oh.
No.
Uh-oh. My little man done got up.
No.
Uh-oh. My little man done got up.
Mom.
You look full of energy, man. Look, you got too much energy at 10:25.
Yeah, you took a long nap though, man.
But it was a good bedtime.
Okay.
Wasn't it? It wasn't? That's our fault then. He about to have us up.
You about to have us up all night.
But
I will sleep for some time.
alright, y'all, let me finish my live.
Come on, sir.
Yeah, temple building, yeah. Jay Electronica, he be killing it. I feel like he pushed JayZ though. I feel like he pushed JayZ to I feel like he pushed him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just Jay Electronica. He always rap like that. He always Jay Electronica. Phantom of the Sharks. He always been on it with that Virgo mind. But Nas always been like that because the Untitled album was pretty good to me. That was probably his most Probably the one where he really like went in, like really, you know. And that was, let me see, who else? But you know, y'all know what I'm saying. Yeah, RZA. Most of Wu-Tang though. Drake be doing it too. Hold on. Let me say this. Drake does it. Drake does it a lot. Listen, I know a lot of people do not like Drake, and I can understand. I understand why. I understand. I get it. I do. I get it. But that boy be talking about some stuff, y'all. He be talking about some stuff, y'all. He be going into the abyss, man. He go into the abyss. I like them ones that go into that darkness. I'm not talking about darkness like, you know, shoot 'em, bang, bang. I ain't talking about that. I mean, go into the deep parts of yourself. The deep parts of yourself and bringing it out. But I know Drake be on some stuff, though. I mean, I know he be on some stuff. But yeah. But I'm gonna give Drake some credit, man. I know a lot of y'all be talking junk about Drake, but he be doing it, y'all. He do. I'm telling y'all, he be doing it. He does. He do. I promise he do. It ain't just all about stealing people's girlfriends and everything. It ain't just about that. He tell you why he do that. Why when people get reflective. I respect reflection. I love reflection, like from an artist, because you're not deflecting. Like that's the most authentic thing you can do, yo. The most authentic thing you can do is reveal parts of yourself. That's heavy, and it's scary, and people don't know how to do it, and they're not comfortable doing it, yo. They are not comfortable doing it. So when an artist is to that point where they're doing that, they're giving you their soul, and I respect that when they get to that point. Like, you know, I really, really, really do. Like, I really respect that, because that's healing. That's how art is healing. You know what I'm saying? Because you are putting out that's something that's gonna resonate. Yep, truth scares most. He's an old Greek nigga. Drake, another one of my favorites. That's why he be calling himself Drake. See, I get it. See, even with the Drake and with the Draco and the Draconian, like, see, that's what I'm saying. That's still us. That's still our shit. That's still going back to our shit. When you know. So it's like when they get to saying something, certain things are dark, it be feeling too hypocritical to me, because I be like, but I thought we was really trying to get to some truth. This is still propagate. This is still some institutionalized. You still taking it back to this moral. This ain't what it is. I thought we was going higher than this. So that's why I don't be liking being in the groups. That's why I be feeling like I'm not, because I get that some people at that level, but you can't want to keep people at that level that's looking. That's just me though. I don't know how I'm gonna colonialize knowledge exactly. It's like, how y'all gonna revert back to this when we get on this topic? Like, this is still us. Like, you can't go back because you uncomfortable. You're not willing to be uncomfortable. You're not dealing with your shadow. That's just shadow work. It's just shadow. It's none of this ain't supposed to be no. It ain't spooky, scary. We not doing that. We adults. We adults. We supposed to be going into our divinity. You know what I'm saying? We can't. That's elementary. We supposed to be graduated. So and it's hard for me to be trying to go. It's hard for me to do that. I can't do that. It's like it's all our story. Let me see. He's atheist from Athens. Even the isle is the same. Well, yeah. But it's all our story. I feel the light cannot live without the dark. It's no story. The best part, honestly though, what make a good story? You got to have a good villain. It got to be a good villain to make a story good. I'm about to do a video on my top 5 favorite villains. My top 5 favorite villains. But I'm going to have to just leave it at like a DC Marvel edition. Because there's so many different villains we could look at and so many different types of stories. So I just left it like... And I'm going to just leave... I'm not going to say comic book. I'm going to put it in movie depictions. So how they've been depicted in movies. So I'm going to make that video. I just started out last night. I just did the concept for it last night. I just thought about it. I just need to record it. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that video. I'm going to probably do more. Like, movies is my thing. Movies and shows. Because it's just the best way to tell the story. It's the best way to take some highly spiritual concept and give it to people, even at the simplest level, so that it can be absorbed. Even if they don't know that it's been absorbed. Because we need somebody on our side that's going to do some movies. I'm going to be that person. Because all these movies, they don't really give us our power back subconsciously. Some of them do. It's a few of them that do. But, you know. Yup, villains make it all worth watching. Because you got to think, you need a good villain. You need a good villain. You got to have a good villain. So I'm kind of singling it down. I'm trying to decide. I got a couple honorable mentions I'm thinking about too. But yeah, I'm looking at the movie depictions. Yeah, TV shows. Yep, I'm big on them. Man, that's what we be doing. They're very teachable. They're very, very good things to teach from. And if I was to consider myself some form of way to teach this to people, it would be through movies or TV shows. Because I just, like I said, I think it's the best way. See, that's why sometimes I be feeling like we got it flipped. Sometimes I be like, man, maybe we looking at it flipped, man, because so many people are saying the same thing. I'm telling y'all, when people say the same thing, I be going the other way. But so many people saying the same thing, man, and it's like, you gotta perform the alchemy. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to really explain that joint. But it's like they trying to, yup, it's called programming for a reason. Yup. And see, that's why too. It's crazy though, because the stuff that's supposed to be real on TV is the fakest, is the most scripted. And the things that's supposed to be fake and scripted is the most real. That's the flip. Because like the news is fake. Your reality TV shows is fake. So people looking at them with minds of it being real. But see, what else get our people is, and it ain't just our people, just common people. I don't just say just common people. What get most common people is, they look at somebody on TV and they adapt. They develop who that person is by a character that they fell in love with on a TV screen. So that person has this image in their mind and they think that's who that person is. And it's like, that was not real. That was a movie, like. But I don't know, be great in the world of black and white, yo. But it's some good stuff out there though. Like, I stay watching TV shows. I stay on some shows. Stranger Things come out. Oh, Stranger Things come out at 12, babe. Stranger Things come out at 12. So, been again to Stranger Things, yo. I love Stranger Things. Moana was a great movie. Yes, kids movies are the best movies. Kids movies are the best movies. Have y'all seen Rise of the Guardians? Tell me if y'all seen Rise of the Guardians, yo. That is the greatest little kids. I ain't gonna say it's the greatest. There's a lot of good kids movies, but it's one of the greatest little kids movies that's out there, yo. Oh my gosh, yo, I'm telling you, yo, y'all gotta see Rise of the Guardians, but it's gonna throw you for a loop because it's about alright, so it's about Jack Frost. So it's about Jack Frost, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, and the Sandman, and the Boogeyman. Yo, I love that little movie, yo. Rise of the Guardians, yo. That little movie deep, yo. Because it's like, Jack Frost, so all of them, they were called to be guardians by the moon. So the moon made them guardians. And Jack was just, he didn't know who or what he was. He just knew that he just woke up and he was Jack Frost, you know, and he could just do what he do for years, hundreds of years. He was just who he was. And nobody could see him. Nobody could see him. And he couldn't understand why nobody could see him. But when it came to like the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, they could be seen because the kids believed in them. But then nobody believed in Jack Frost. So nobody couldn't see him. But see, nobody didn't believe in him because he didn't believe in himself because he didn't know who he was. He didn't know why he was who he was. So he asked the moon, why am I here? So the moon made him a guardian so he could learn who he was. He had to go against the boogeyman. And so what the boogeyman was doing was turning everybody all fearful. So he was taking the kids because, you know, the Sandman, and I didn't grow up with Sandman. I don't know about y'all. I learned about Sandman like later. I think that's a European thing. But it got to do with your dreams and whatnot. So, you know, he was turning all the kids' dreams into nightmares. You know what I'm saying? It was turning like all the lights off in the kids. So the kids weren't believing in nothing no more. So all of them were losing their powers. You know, the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, they was just losing their powers. Now, see, the thing about the Tooth Fairy is when you lose your the baby teeth would keep the memories. And so the boogeyman knew who Jack Frost was. See, one thing about the darkness, whenever you look in them movies, the person on the dark side always tell the truth. They don't never withhold the truth. See, the light side always withhold the truth. They always withhold the truth. They be like, oh, it's to protect you or whatever it is. They always keep the truth and it always come back to bite them. That's why the darkness even has the opportunity that it has because, you know what I'm saying, the light doesn't put itself in a position anyway. When it really, truth of the matter is, the whole lesson is, if you face your darkness, you won't have to deal with the whole thing. But since you won't face it, it's going to rise up out of the darkness into the light so that until you face it and deal with what you're supposed to deal with. That's the whole lesson of light and dark. So, anyway, so Jack ended up getting his teeth and he got his memory. And he learned how he died and how he became Jack Frost. And then he started to believe in himself. And once he believed in himself, he got the only child left still believing in anything to believe in him. And once he did that was able to get the other kids to believe in everything, all trickled down and everything, yada yada. But you gotta see the movie. But anyway, Rise of Guardians was a good kids movie, yo. Moana was a good one too. You know, like in Moana, so when he stole her heart, when he took her heart, you know, she went from being who she was in the beginning to being, you know, the rising up at the end and it took for Moana to realize that, man, it was about bringing balance. But the kids still really do be having some of the best lessons, man. That's why I always sit down and watch these little kids movie with the kids because they always want to watch them. And we be talking to them through the movie too. We be telling them all type of sort of stuff through the movie because that's just who he is. How do you feel about agnostic people studying occultism? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's considered people that don't really believe in nothing, right? And them, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, because it go to intention. So I don't know, man. It was like Jeff Frost to make everyone believe again. Yup, yeah, it was. Yup, that's how it was. Dark we come, from the dark we come, the dark we must return. From darkness come light. Yup. Find light and light. You have to challenge yourself. Yup. It's just the adversity. That's what builds the character. You don't build no character. Even people, man, when they want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, Christianity, Jesus, I'm like, look, you don't get the story without Judas, bro. You don't get it, yo. Like, understand what the story is really trying to teach you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he had to do that. It was part of what it was. Even if it is astrological and we just talking about how the sun was defeated, you know what I'm saying? You getting less, it's just a way of describing less light and more darkness, you know what I'm saying? All in how you really want to interpret it. Or you can look at it as always the story of the rising of you. That's how you gonna rise up. That's how your Christ energy must rise up. So yeah, the never ending story is a really good one. It's one of the best ones, man. The never ending story. Yup. The boy had to realize it was him the whole time. The whole time it was him. Most of the time that's how it is. Yup, that's how it is most of the time. Most of the time they just have to realize that it's you. It's really just you. Even if we want to go to the Matrix, Neo is the one. You know, like, or the one Neo, like, that's you. You the Neo. You the neophyte. You the one that's being initiated. You know? I'm in between. They were like the first occultist kind of, but then again, they still identify as Christian, so it's hard to say how I feel, but I will say the agnostic test is a good read. Agnostic, or you saying Gnostic? Cause see, the Gnostics, they were the originals they the OGs when it comes to the whole Christ like thing, pre-Christian, or what Christianity was kind of made out of. So I don't know. Paige, appreciate it. Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate you, Weekend Drill. I know you was asking me about the podcast too, man, but I kind of wrapped the podcast up a little bit, so you know, maybe we could do a live or a YouTube or something. I don't know. But yeah, I wrapped the podcast up. I'll probably just put out content on the page. I mean, on the YouTube and on socials. So then you have to prove it to yourself. And yep, that's all. That's it. You really just proving it to yourself. Yep. And that's all it is the whole time. You trying to make yourself a believer. And I feel like that's what we doing the whole time we walking this path. You know what I'm saying? The whole time you healing. And it's like, you know, but you gotta know it by heart. You got, you know, like, that's how you know something by heart. Like, you know, but do you know it by heart? You know, or do you know? You know what I'm saying? Do you know? So that's how far you really gotta know it. So to the point where you just living it, you just being it. And that's how I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to make sure that I had myself in check. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to make sure I had myself in check. But they have first details on archons and demiurge. Oh, you know, I was thinking when he said agnostic, you know, I thought he was meaning people that don't really like believe, but not like atheists. Not to say like they don't believe in nothing at all, but they kind of indifferent or kind of to it, if there's something. Oh, so I mistakenly read that. My bad. Yeah. But I mean, the Gnostics, I feel like that kind of falls under occultism, though. I feel like that's kind of occult, like, to what they've made occult to mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hidden. It is a form of it's a hidden path still. It's still not something that's, like, accepted. You know what I'm saying? So I still feel like it kind of falls under occult. Even though, like, a lot of people, a lot of concepts and a lot of things is really just watered down occult. But there's some things, some words specifically that is tied to occult. And so the reason why the occult is like it is because there came a certain point in time where they had to rift from it because the church was taking over. So anything or anybody that had occult ties couldn't get far in society. You feel me? So like, who's my man, the scientist? Yo, I did a whole video on this joint. And now like I got a blank. So that's when you start to see historically, you see it shift, show, because I feel about H.P. Lovecraft and his mythos. I feel, he was on to something. He was the side ancient stories, the great old ones. He was somehow, man, he was tapped in. I don't know where them stories came from, but yeah, he was tapped in. I feel like he was tapped in. Speaking of that, have you seen Lovecraft Country? I know you probably have. Like, I think everybody's seen Lovecraft Country at this point. You know, it was official. I gotta give it his credit. It was official. I like it. HBO do good with shows though. All the HBO shows are pretty good though. Westworld is a good one. I don't know if y'all seen Westworld. Westworld is straight Gnostic. To me it is. To me it's straight Gnostic. If you look at Westworld. What else they got? They got the Watchmen. Oh man, that one was good. It took me a while at first. Like I couldn't get past the first episode at first. But that one is good. His Dark Materials, yo, that one is official. Yo, the people in that, so they have this power, whatever, and they have demons. So everybody has a demon. It's like, yo, y'all gotta watch it. Just watch it. I might just build my whole channel on shows and movies. I thought about doing it. The symbolism in HBO is off the wall. Yep, absolutely. One of these days, I'm gonna sit down and write my TV show, man. I really need to do it. That's what I really want to do. Because it get me excited. But yes, Westworld is a great one. It helped me. Oh, okay. It helped me understand, like it broke down Akashic record for me, the Akashic records, because it helped me understand that when she was like all the lies and everything they had lived, it being record, it being data, I was like, oh snap, that's how the Akashic record works. Like, oh my goodness, that's what that is. And oh man, Westworld was Westworld is off the chain, man. Westworld is off the chain. The Eyes and The Sopranos dealing with the shadow work and trauma was so legit. Yeah, The Sopranos, you know, I get it. I think I heard Panic break that down. The Sopranos. I heard somebody break that down. And it helped me understand. Like you said, dealing with shadow work. It helped me understand and it helped me understand that whole destroyer energy. How that whole energy come through. How it's really nothing but a protector. It's really like to protect you. My own anime based on ancient samurai guys and goddesses. Oh, that sound like a dope concept. That sound like a really dope concept. My daughter loves animes. Oh my goodness, she got me into them. Speaking of anime, Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan. That's my one right there. That is my one. Attack on Titan is my one. I love that show, y'all. I love that show. That's our story right there. That's our story, y'all. Attack on Titan. That's our story. That's our story. I love that one. I don't know if y'all seen it, but that's my one, Attack on Titan. But a lot of them are good though, but that's my favorite one. Yep. Devilman, Crybaby, and Naruto. I seen Naruto. I have seen that one. Yeah, so I'm kind of fresh on animes. I've seen a few of them. I haven't seen a lot of them. Seen a few of them. I mean, I grew up on Dragon Ball Z, of course. Of course, grew up on Dragon Ball Z. You know. I remember that every day, boy, I used to watch coming home, watching Dragon Ball Z. Well, you know, it's been a nice little build, y'all, but I'm getting hot in here. Y'all see I took my sweater off and everything. So, it was a good little build. I don't know the next time I'll be back on live, but, you know, y'all know, turn your little notifications on. And we can do this again another time. Anybody want anything before we hop off? Watch One Piece is worth the 1,000+ episode journey. Man, 1,000 episodes? One Piece? Okay, I'm gonna look into that. But see, I know I'm about, let me see. So I got like a good, I believe hour. I believe Stranger Things is coming on tonight. I think so. So I'm probably gonna watch Stranger Things. Cause Stranger Things is it's official. I give it a stand. Oh, okay. I'm gonna say this: the best TV show, the absolute best TV show for an occultist to watch is Supernatural. Absolute best show to watch. They cover everything. They cover everything, They cover everything, especially when it gets to the later seasons and they going against God. Yo. Supernatural is the one. Supernatural is the fucking one. That's the one, yo. I'm gonna watch that show forever. Like, forever. That's the one. Supernatural is the one. What you think of the imagery of the dark hole in Dark Strange 2-1? During my journey, I had a vision of being inside my mind and it looked the same. Well, from what I got from it, I have to watch it. I need to watch it again. I saw it, but, it was like I need to see it. But from what I gather, right, the whole thing, Doctor Strange, was about the divine feminine. It was the divine feminine which was represented in the Scarlet Witch. Because they couldn't even stop her. You feel me? They could not stop her. She could only stop herself, yo. She could only fucking stop herself. But I know a lot of people ain't seen that movie. So I'm not gonna say too much. But that movie was about the divine feminine to me. And it do show like dream walking, the different multiverses and everything. Yep. But see, Disney, I feel like Disney and the MCU and the way they tell stories, they are probably one of, if it's like, top news stories, top occult. If it was like top occult report based on the studios, Disney at the top. They are absolutely at the top when it comes to the occult. Disney. They run it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, other studios put out good stuff, but Disney is it. Disney is a monster when it comes to the occult. And I don't mean it necessarily in the typical way of it being bad. I'm just saying for being what it is. For it being what it is. Okay, Stranger Things drop at like 3 a.m. Damn, if it's 3 a.m., I'm going to wait till tomorrow. So, yeah, if it ain't up at 12, I'm going to wait till tomorrow, probably. What show? Supernatural, yep. Yeah, Lovecraft is a good one. They shorted us giving us that one season. But it was a good one, though. Past Eclipse brought it in. The one with Orlando Jump. Oh, yes, American Guys is good, too. You know they canceled that, too, right, bro? They canceled out, too. They canceled it, man. But I'm telling y'all, like, that's what I'm saying. The stuff like that, those type of shows that's supposed to be fantasy and science and, sci-fi and all of that, that's the real thing. That's the real stuff to watch. I don't pay no attention to no news, no reality show. I don't never know what's going on with none of that. But when it comes to these occult shows, I'm on top of it. You hear me? I'm right there. You live in all for Disney Studios, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've thought about this. Like, what if I did really write something? Would I let Disney hang? Would I do it? I don't know, man, because I don't know. Cause sometimes, man, they'll flip it. They'll give you the gems, but it's like if you don't know, you're not gonna catch it, and it could still easily spell you to sleep, so it's hard to say. But you say you live an hour from Disney. If I get this my word, they'll lock me up. Shoot, I mean, they might. I was thinking the same thing, man. Like, they might. Like, I think I've been thinking about this for a minute, because I'm really ready to sit down and write my own. Because that's my That's my thing. I love movies. I love TV shows. Like, that's the best way to get occult knowledge. Like, sitting giving it. But if you really reach, influence, put it in a movie. Put it in a TV show. You know, like, be covert. Like, if you really want to do it, you know, but I don't know. I don't know if that's what I really want to do. I can't really say that. Put it on TV for you. Regardless, I'm gonna write it. Like, I'm gonna write it, yo. I just gotta decide, you know, get myself in the space where I can just commit my energy to it and just do it. Start teaching our kids that history's facts. That's all. I mean, that's all we can do. It's really all we can do, and we gotta give it to them. We gotta be responsible for that. See, I feel like that's where we slipped up at, is in expecting these others to educate us on us. They weren't gonna do that. They're not gonna give you the keys to your freedom. So we gotta do it. You know, but the thing about it is, and a lot of these young people, they looking into this stuff for themselves. A lot of these young people already do feel differently. Yeah, the cartoons. Oh yeah, the cartoons. That's why I don't have no cable though. I don't be trying to go to the regular little TV cartoon. And then the commercials. I try to stay away from commercials too though. You know, because you never ads. But, you know, you're teaching your siblings about astrology. Okay. For me, I feel like the best way that I learned astrology was like sitting down looking at my own chart and like looking at the information for myself, because once I could understand what it, like the energy, you know what I'm saying, I could see how it was present in my life. I think that was like the best way for me to get more efficient, you know what I'm saying, or like deeper in my understanding of astrology. So I tell people, it's like, I know astrology, I'm good on astrology, but it's because I know myself. It's because I know me. So the best way you can know, that's how I tell people, the best way you can know astrology is to know you. Like, get your chart and sit down with your chart. Now, people can do readings. I do let people still do readings from time to time, because some people have different specialties, you know what I'm saying, different energies and everything, and what they're able to channel and what type of message they're giving you. But I think that's the best bet. Like, look at your chart and see, you know what I'm saying, what was present in your life. Like, for me to look at, so I got Chiron. My Chiron is in my 4th house, with the house of family and ancestry. So I got a womb there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, well, you know, I can really see how that is present in my life. You feel me? So, you know, and then as you do that, then you can know it. Yep, best way to know others is know yourself. It just makes it easier for you to be able to relate to others. That's why psychology ain't nothing but astrology. Psychology is astrology. That's all it is. People be getting mad at me because that's how I am. I'm just gonna tell you, oh, it ain't nothing but astrology. You know, them little self-help or little personal development, but oh, they ain't nothing but some occult science. They ain't tell you nothing but the law of manifestation or the law of vibration. You know, that's really all that is. You could just cut that middleman and not just go straight to the source. But people are so fearful, you know, so there's that obstacle. You know what I'm saying? They'd rather stay in that love and light section. You know what I mean? Or, you know. But it's been a pleasure speaking with y'all on this evening. I look forward to speaking with you all again and us doing this again. So, you know, to everybody who joined, I appreciate all of you all. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate all of you. And we're going to definitely do this again. And, you know, oh, I had a request? I didn't even know. My bad. See, I'm still trying to get used to it, you know what I'm saying? But Now let me know next time we can bring somebody on. Oh, peace. My bad. You just coming in. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna post it too. I'm gonna post this live. We had a nice little chat. We talked about some things. But anyway, peace.